All right, so we're here. It is Saturday night at the Stress Factory Comedy Club. I'm here with comic Darren Fleet.
Yay.
This is his first weekend at the club. I did not know Darren before this weekend. Mark, who is our comic wrangler, he finds everybody.
He does.
And you've been killing it. And I have to tell you, before we even start the interview, I love the stuff on Facebook, and I've only watched enough to just start to acquaint myself.
To break the seal. Thank you. I appreciate that. I work hard. So thank you for watching my Facebook, my IG. That's how I got my start, kind of, sort of. So, yeah.
It's unbelievable. And this is a new way.
It is.
For comics to blow up. This is this is your own Tonight Show, your own Letterman. This is your own everything.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, so I'm watching on stage, and before I start the interview, and I didn't know anything about you. A super strong personality.
Thank you.
Audience loves you. And I think you're enjoying the room.
I am. I'm loving the ambiance. This is my second time doing an outdoor show, but this is like my first time doing my own outdoor show.
Right.
So when I'm thinking outdoor, I'm thinking someone's backyard. But when I get here, it's the whole tent set up. It's lights, it's ambiance. The people are ready to laugh. It was way more than what I expected to be, so I appreciate y'all for that.
Well, thank you very much. And I tell you, again, I watched, and I told my wife today or yesterday about FTA and PTA.
Full-time adult and part-time adult.
and it made me laugh so hard because I have older kids, and I'm like, yeah, I have one that is a PPTA, permanent part-time adult, and I have one that's a full-time
definitely
adult.
me.
Yeah, and I love that video.
Thank you.
So tell me now you've been on Facebook for how long?
About 4.5 years, almost 5. Yeah.
And how many followers?
1.5 million on Facebook and almost 800,000 on Instagram and about roughly 600,000 on TikTok. So we over 3 million followers with social media right now.
That is absolutely amazing.
I am shocked myself, especially for someone who did not see this happening, because a lot of times when you grow up, you only dream about things like this happening. You never know how comics become comedians.
Yeah.
It's not a written or underlined story for that. So for me to make my own way here and have some of my favorite comics come up to me and say stuff like, I know you. That is amazing.
And I apologize for those in the background.
Oh, no, that's great. Those are my fans. They came to see the show.
And back to that just for a minute. So it is amazing. Because there are guys that have been in the business for 30 years.
Yep.
I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about it earlier today. I'm thinking, okay, I guess I must have been exposed to whatever number of people over 30 years. Mm-hmm. But in all probability, not 1.5 million. And that's just on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so that's an incredible tool.
Thank you.
And you were a comic before that.
I did open mics. And I love to shout out comics who helped me become who I am today. I want to shout out one in particular. His name is Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis is a comic from Concord, North Carolina.
I know Ryan.
Yes, he's an amazing. He saw my videos. I was just putting out videos like you do, anyone else do it for like audition tape style. I wasn't doing it to build a fan base. I was doing it so people can know that I'm actually funny.
Right.
So he was one of the people who was equally funny, not funnier. Ryan is amazing. He saw my work. He was like, Darren, you got something. He came 4.5 hours. Comedy has helped me build everything I am today because I didn't even have a car when I started.
Not even
a license. Ryan saw my comedy from social media, Facebook, like most people did. He was like, bro, you funny. He came like 4.5 hours, drove all the way down from Concord, North Carolina, picked me up, drove me out to Charlotte, North Carolina. I began my open mics there. I don't like to thank anyone for my success because it was me who brought me here and it was God. But if I had to thank anyone for seeing who I was before I knew what this could be, it would be Ryan Davis. Ryan saw me when I was hungry as equal as him. He brought me onto a set around some great people who taught me the rhythm of stand-up comedy. I'd done a lot of open mics. I would do 2 and 3 open mics a night. And people would just look at me sometimes like, oh, my God, you are so innovative, because I've always been funny. But being funny and doing stand-up are two different things. There are a lot of funny people, but stand-up is structured art. So what I learned from open mics was how to structure my funny, and Ryan is responsible for that. So I don't give him, like I say, the praise for who I am as Darren Fleet, but I do I do look up to him because him as a comic as my age and saying, you know what, you got it too. You should take this on the road and do something with it. I appreciated him because I wouldn't be making the money and I wouldn't have the fame I am now if someone would have told me, Darren, you can take what you're doing from video perspective and make a longevity career out of it. So I thank Ryan for that.
And listen, it's great and it's important.
It is.
To know and identify the guys that helped you.
Right, absolutely.
And develop.
Absolutely.
And I have to tell you, I just said the other day, there are comedians that I look up to for what they're doing, their body of work, and how they're doing it.
Right.
And it's going to sound goofy because I've been doing this a long time, but I look up to guys like you.
Thank you.
Well, listen, this is the new way
it is.
to develop. And there's a certain amount of old school guys that have some beef sometimes, right?
Every once in a while, I get people who say things like, well, y'all didn't have to work as hard as we did. But once I broke it down to them in a way, because I've worked with comics who've said negative things. And I'm like, okay, that's the way they feel initially. But after they see my stage craftsmanship or after they meet me as a person and they know that, okay, we're a lot alike, and I break down to them that, okay, the audition tapes that you sent to comedy or Def Comedy Jam or Comic View or anywhere of Comedy Central is equivalent to what I'm doing on social media every day. These are audition tapes.
Yes.
Yeah, I so happen to be funny, but
yes.
This is what gets me in the stress factory. Y'all have to see them and be like, okay, he can do it. Now I'm going to let him in. So we're doing the same thing on a different wave. Yeah.
It's a really important thing you're saying because it's also an audition that goes out to the end user. The marketplace can finally decide.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I tell young comics is, listen, for years and years and years, we heard about the gatekeepers. Who, you couldn't get on if you couldn't get by the guy that booked such and such.
Absolutely, right.
And this is the great equalizer because this is saying, hey, we're going to put it out there into the world.
Yeah.
And there's a certain, in my opinion, a certain toughness you must have.
Absolutely.
Because you're putting it out there and
it's bearing your soul. So
right.
Yeah.
And there are haters, right?
Absolutely.
Now, how do you handle them? How do you, for yourself, how do you handle it?
I look at it like this, especially when it comes to comedy. The good thing about social media is all of the good comments I can get a few bad ones. You cannot, as a comic or as anyone and I'm just speaking of social media personality, if I take my time and just target the negative comments, it's telling other people who have left, Darren, you're great, or that was hilarious, oh my God, I peed myself, or whatever it may be. It's telling them that your comment don't mean anything because I'm only drawing the negativity. I don't see negativity. Yeah. And the reason why I don't see it is because when I was climbing this ladder, I was so adamant about getting to where I wanted to get to. I wanted to make enough money to own my own home, which I've done, my own cars, and help my family members. That's all I wanted. Success to me is when you can see what you've done help build back into what you're making it of. So basically what I'm saying is like all the things I didn't have before comedy, I have now. So I don't see haters because how can I see that when I got bills that's way bigger than my haters? Like, you know, I got $3,000, $4,000 bills. I'm like, oh my God, a hater, please, if you're going to help me, at least hate and help with a bill. Like, like really.
And so what you're saying is also true of our industry.
Right.
Success, money dictates right. I mean, if a guy's making money or a girl's making money,
right?
You gotta be careful. Yeah, I'm very woke.
In 2020,
but
you have to be.
Face facts, it's mostly men making money. I'm kidding. If someone's making,
ladies, I'm sorry.
but there's the thing too about the haters, right? So you gotta look past them.
You do.
But
when you know, like I know, the haters buy the biggest tickets in the house. They buy the front row seats just to sit up there.
Right.
And then I end up still making them laugh of some sort. So I'll be like, okay, you was probably one of them negative Nancy's on my Instagram, leaving bad comments, and it's fine. You need the naysayers, and when people don't know that is you need naysayers as much as yay-sayers. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes I would put out a video or I would do a stage performance, and I would think the exact thing that the naysayers thinking, like, damn, that was not my best work. So when you say something I was already thinking, it's like, okay, that pushes me to be better next time, because in this comedy game, you're only as good as your last stage performance, your last video you drop, your last movie, etc. So I take all of that to heart. So haters, thank you. I need you. Please keep hating. I need them.
So you're saying it's some type of check and balance. It's
It is.
Some way
It's
for you
a
to say,
humbleness. Yeah. Mhm.
And you know, it's funny because I say about the haters, the end of the day. Thank you.
At least she asked after interrupting. I don't want to interrupt, but are you recording? Thank you. Thank you so much, and I love you back. God bless you, love. I get it afterwards.
You could have thrown "I like you" to me. I mean, I love
That's
you, Darren.
I know, right? And didn't say
I'm
anything
sitting
about
right
the
here.
interviewer. Shame on my Fleet Hub members that I love so much.
So you know, back to the naysayers. I say it. It's a very interesting thing because, you know, comics I've seen for years will put them on stage, and inside the room here will be 340 people. And they'll have 339 people give them a standing ovation. And one guy walked out. And the comic gets off stage and goes, "What was with that guy?" And, you know, the social media explodes that because
Yes, it
1.5 million.
Yes, it does.
You know, there's going to be a video where if, you know, 2% don't like a video, that's a lot of people that don't like it.
So freaking lutely. Yeah.
But your fans are probably all into everything you do.
For the most part, yes. But one thing I love about comedy, it's different when we've been building fan bases of comedy than when you are a background dancer or a musician or whatever. They love you as long as you're funny. Now, my fans love me because I have a wonderful personality, and I try my best to be, you know, just real and just transparent with them. But because I joke on everything and I do it on lives a lot, I go live, like I know for a fact, 3-4 times a week. So when I'm live and they know that you can be live and you can be funny for an hour and a half, I don't get the cheat sheet that a lot of internet personalities get. So some internet personalities, people can come through and I'm just going to laugh because I love him. My fans not like that. They like, no, we've seen you be genuinely funny, like jokes on live for an hour and a half. So when you get up here tonight, you better be that. I don't get a cheat sheet like a lot of people. I have to be funny. So when my fans are laughing, it's because I said something funny. It's not because it's Darren Fleet. And the reason why I know that is because I've been at some of my shows and people have still faced me on a night that was off. I was like, damn, I'm not feeling it tonight. And it showed. So they don't laugh because it's me. They don't love me. They love what I actually have to say. And one thing I love about my videos is even if you're not watching me personally, you can lay your phone down and just hear what I'm saying and hopefully still laugh. I don't try to do glamorous stuff. I don't try to be so beautiful. You know, well, I'm God-giftedly that. I'm naturally beautiful. But I don't try to be. I try to be authentically funny so that even when my beauty fades, I have something to fall back on.
Right.
Well,
that's the inner beauty, right?
Absolutely.
That's the inner beauty.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you and I have the same problem in that we're both very beautiful.
Yes, we are.
And I
can't stop looking at you. It's hard.
Darren, that makes me very happy. You know, I got my new haircut today.
And I see that.
And you told me you liked it. It made me very happy.
I do.
So let's get a little bit back into your past because you said something last night that intrigued the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
You're 4 years on social media, and you took a circuitous route. Do you mind talking about it?
Let's talk about it.
So what happened?
Before I found my way with comedy, I was in school, and you know, when you're a college student, you're probably like poor and starving, and someone interests you with this get-rich-quick scheme, and I'm like, hey, I'll jump on it. And it was credit card scamming, and I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. It's easy. All I gotta do is do a few fake names, few fake bank accounts, whatever. And it turned out to ruin my school life. So a lot of times what may come to you in a beautiful wrap ribbon bow can be the end of your whole life. So I had a lot going for me. I was a college student. I had no felonies, etc. And my life went down with 2 or 3 felonies in one charge. Embezzlement, identity theft, check writing scams. I got a lot. luckily, I thank God, back now looking at it, I thank God I caught those felonies because I wouldn't be comedian Darren Fleet today. I would have went on to school and did business marketing or whatever I was going to school for at the time. And I would have worked a 9 to 5 and, made my little generic money. But a lot of times with most comics like I've met, you went through a lot, like Steve Harvey or Tyler Perry, etc. They had to go through poverty or living in their cars to get to where they want. So I thank God about my prison sentence. I did a year and some change off of my white-collar crime with embezzlement. If I didn't do that, I would have been working maybe at a call center or selling real estate or something like that.
You would have been embezzling.
Yeah, I would have been embezzling. But it wouldn't have been something that I was good at. I am good at making people feel good about themselves, and that's jokes. So
it's an interesting thing because I said to my wife, I can't wait to do the interview. I said, I think he went to prison for embezzlement.
I did, unfortunately.
And my wife said, this is so funny. She said, embezzlement. She goes, he's too young. That's an older person's crime.
It's not. Actually, it is a college student's crime.
Right. I'm
good at Pythagorean theorem, algebra, geometry. So once you've learned math, you can embezzle anything. And once I made A in calculus, I was like, yes, I'm definitely going to get a credit card machine.
Tell me, what was the scam? What did you do? Because I've had my credit card taken.
I did credit card scams where I would make, I had a credit card machine that will actually let you, produce a fake credit card. So you open up multiple bank accounts. So I was multiple people for a living, and I made good money being that. So when they caught me, I had like $47,000. And I was working at Walmart part-time, and they was like, ain't no way in hell. like, you got this much.
So you didn't steal someone's identity, or did you?
No, I never took someone's identity per se, but because I was doing fake identities to do multiple bank accounts, it looked as an identity theft. I didn't go up to you and be like, okay, he left his credit card at the bar, let me confiscate it. No, I wasn't a thief. I was a thief, but I wouldn't call myself that. I was a skill thief.
So you created other Darren Fleets.
Absolutely, yes. I was Darren Fleet with 2 R's, Darren Fleet with 1 R, Darian Fleet with an I, Darren Fleet with the O instead of my E. So it was a lot of Darrens, yeah.
Right. And so how much money did you think how much did you end up with?
Over the immense of time, probably a few hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was good.
So, and what would you buy the merchandise and sell it? What would you do with it?
I had credit cards, so I would just have money in an account. And I wouldn't so much buy. I had a lovely loft at the age of 19. I had, I was eating 5-star cuisines. I was a regular at Roof Chris, and that's unheard of for someone with a 19-year-old.
Right, so you're a kid.
Right.
And this is really... You're not committing a crime at 19.
I don't feel like it. I just felt like I was living a rock star life, but it wasn't my money. So it was a crime. I'm glad that it did happen. Like I said, everything that happened then built me now. So if I wouldn't have been ex-felon Darren Fleet, I'd never be comedian Darren Fleet because, like I said, I would have just been prone to the American way of living. You either go to the service, college, or get a job.
Right. Well, it's funny you say it. I say everybody, I say the same thing. If you're happy, then you have to accept your journey.
Absolutely.
And we all have made mistakes.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, and it's fascinating to me that what you did with it, because I can say as a young guy, I didn't have the smarts. My friends weren't savvy enough. I wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
Right. Right.
And if I could have, I think I might have. I mean, who doesn't want to be a regular with Chris? That stuff.
Right.
And so where did you do
5-star this and that, yes.
Where did you do the year?
This was like 2011 and 12.
And where was it? What state?
It was in Virginia. I was in Chesapeake, Virginia. Greenbrier is where I got knocked off at. Yeah, never F up in Virginia. It's Commonwealth, okay? And the point system was against,
Was it a club fed?
No.
So you were in a real prison?
I was in a real prison.
And the experiences?
Actually, it wasn't bad. That's why I knew I was really funny. When you can make people who have a life sentence who are not going to see their children, mother, family, spouse, etc. again, and you can make them laugh, you are special. It's different. Like, okay, a lot of comedians don't know we're comics because everyone has made someone laugh before. It's easy to make someone you work with laugh or someone you go to school with or your spouse laugh because you know what makes them laugh. You've grown accustomed to them.
Correct.
When you can make someone who's not going to see the world no more, they're not going to never have an experience at Walmart again. They're not going to drive. They have murders. They have rape charges, etc. And you can make them ha, 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 ha. And I'm talking about a belly laugh. They be like, man, Darren, bro, come back out to the child hall tomorrow. You were that funny. That's when I knew I was special. I was like, oh, my God, this is not just regular funny. I am the bomb. So once I got out of jail, I just started recording myself. I was like, if I made Tyrone with 17 felonies laugh, I can make Taquan with a math book going to high school. And that's how I looked at it. I knew I was different because it ain't nothing to laugh about when the judge has said life. What do you have to laugh about?
What do you got left to lose?
You don't have nothing to lose. He probably wanted to kill me. I made him laugh so much. Like, I'm going to kill you.
Do you think that some of the skill developed out of some survival mechanism while you're there, too?
Absolutely. Comedy is already, I feel like anyone who does comedy, they use it first as a defense mechanism. Me personally, I feel that way because I was picked on a lot about sexuality growing up or about different, lifestyle of choice. And I had to learn different ways of protecting myself. I'm not much of a fighter. I don't believe in violence. So my way of protecting myself was words. So anytime I could make you feel bad about who you was, about trying to make me feel, it was easy and it was comedy. So I started off roasting. So, yeah.
Guys, can you please stop talking? I'm sorry, Darren.
Absolutely fine.
So yeah, it's a defense mechanism, and I'm sorry to the listeners that was getting loud. It's funny because I do believe that. I'm deaf.
Okay.
I've been deaf my whole life, really.
Right,
I mean,
right.
they never diagnosed it, or wasn't diagnosed until I was much older in life.
Right.
And I think I developed the ability to navigate a situation with a laugh because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Absolutely, right.
Make them laugh. Now you go to jail, you're scared, and you start to develop it there, or you were already doing comedy before?
I was already funny.
Already funny, but had you done it yet?
But I had not done comedy. And the thing about it is you do not know you're a comedian until everyone says you're funny. Right. My mom, people at her work job, people in prison, people at the diner, people in the Walmart line, people at McDonald's drive-thru. It was everywhere. I could just make up something, and it was crazy. At a funeral, at a wedding, at a wake, at a child's birth. It was nothing for me to be funny. It is a God-given gift from him through me to you. So once I realized that, Darren, you're not funny, you're gifted. And it's a difference. It's a lot of funny people. But when you have a gift, you got something to convey over to people to change the mind frame. It's a lot of people in my audience tonight. They got a bill that's due. They got a son that's locked up. They got some type of sickness, and they come out to see me. So once I know that I have been a healer to them of some sort, it is way bigger than me. So I don't do it now because I'm good at it. I do it more so now because it's helping somebody. Comedy is a healer. It is not me. It is all God. Even if I wanted to take credit for this, I could not die and be born again and give myself this gift. I could not.
It's interesting to hear you say it because
it's all God.
If I said to someone else, Darren said he's funny and he's great, they would say, well, he sounds conceited. But I'm hearing you're very sincere. It's not a conceited thing.
No, I'm not conceited at all.
No.
Conceitedness is like, oh, I tell myself this, but do you have any proof? I can prove the people have said it. Now, because I'm an artist and I'm very sensitive, do I feel like some nights I go out on stage, I'm like, oh, I suck tonight. Sure. Because I know I can be 10 times funnier. But do I know in the back of my mind, this is my God-given gift? This is what God has pushed me to? Yes, because every other job I've had, I've even got fired from or I just quit it. I was like, I'm thinking I'm doing a good job, and they're like, I'm sorry, but we're looking for someone who can fix those sandwiches quicker. And I'm like, oh, that's not me. So it's like that. I don't qualify for doing hair, voguing, dancing, fixing sandwiches, or anything like that. I can only tell jokes. I can't even fucking cook. So, yeah.
And I feel bad saying this, and I'm not conceited, but I tell people all the time, listen, don't put me on your baseball team.
Right.
Don't hire me to fix your roof.
I'm not a background singer. Right.
When you put me on stage, that's where I belong. And I have the same, and please, it's so bad when an interviewer says, I'm like you. I have a similar drive. Like,
absolutely.
I do this. It's a very deep meaning to me. When we're on stage, we're making people laugh, especially during this pandemic when you can pull something
This
off.
is the hardest crowd, the pandemic crowd. But you know what's so funny? It's easy. Because when people ain't had nothing to do, they come out expecting they're laughing even before you do the joke. You're like, oh God, I ain't even finished it, but whatever. But they're just happy to see other people other than their kids. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I know that, and I'm gonna tell you something. I need you to come back because we have to sit for another interview.
I want to come back.
I want to sit with another interview.
I hope y'all have me back. Like, please do. This is like my big. Like, let me come back.
Well, you've not seen the Bridgeport Club yet.
No. Now, I do have friends from Bridgeport. Chris Sear, who also hooked me up with Mark, who's your, I think, comedy booker.
Yeah.
He's a very funny comic who have done a lot of my shows, just stand up. We done the Stardom in Alabama, just a lot of prestigious comedy club, and now this one as well. He actually did Connecticut last night where I was doing New Jersey, but he got me hooked up with Mark.
Oh,
he done my tours, and he was like, man, Mark, you got to look into this guy. Mark saw my videos, and he was like, yes, we want him. So I just want to say, Chris Sear, thank you too, but I would love to do Connecticut. He's actually from Bridgeport, so if this is my beg and call, please let me come to Connecticut.
Oh, we're gonna
Bridgeport, all of you guys, let me come out. I love you.
I'm going to tell you two things. But I'm not going to put you on the spot in the interview. We want you to come back, and this was the week that they scared the snot out of everybody.
I was scared because they wasn't telling us the ticket sales. I got to the first show, I was like, all right, this is a humble show. And then the Friday night, we started to pick up gradually, and then tonight it has been beautifully. So over the last 5 shows, ultimately, I would pat myself on the back. During a pandemic, outside in Jersey, that's not easy. So I am blown away by the crowd and thankful that you guys gave me the
Thank you. And we'll wrap up. I want to do 2 things. One, I'm going to get you to come do Vicky and Vinnie live.
Please do.
Because the show, you're going to love that show.
I would love to.
You're going to love that show. It's so much fun.
I love your comedy. I mean, I was like, especially when you threw in that sub about me, I was like, oh, he really knows me with the
Darren,
blanket.
I saw you.
Yes.
And the joke, it made me laugh to watch you laugh.
Thank you.
And it made me so happy because it was a very nice laugh.
It tickled me. I was like, what? He know me. He been looking through my window. I am very dirty. Thank you. So I appreciate that.
I got to, and I want to talk more about what your goals are. Are you going to shoot your own special? I mean,
I would love to. I would love to shoot my own special. I want to do, a lot of people want the Kevin Hart comedy or the Seinfeld comedy. I don't want that. I don't want to be that famous. I want the Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley comedy show. I want to retire hosting a game show, maybe like Family Feud or something like that. I would love to do radio TV. I'm very family oriented. I do not need to be chasing people in a cop movie or playing gay or anything like that, like we do in most of the LGBT, in most of the movies that they try to put us in. I want to just be an authentic comic who just stuck to what I believed in. I listen to a lot of radio and I watch a lot of game show hosting, so hopefully that would be my niche.
We do a game show in Vicky and Vinnie Live.
Well, I would love to do that.
Oh my God,
that would be great. I would love to do that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna get you back. We're gonna exchange numbers now because I don't think I have your number.
Please do call me now.
Yeah. I will exchange a number.
Pay a bill if you can.
Now listen. So tell everyone where they can find you. I know it's Darren Fleet on Twitter. It's Fleet Darren.
On Twitter, I'm on Twitter. Twitter, it's Fleet Darren. On Instagram, it's Love Darren Fleet. Darren, Darren, Fleet as in Fleetwood Mac, Fleet. On Facebook is Darren Fleet Comedian. Facebook made me do that. But guys, anytime you put Darren Fleet, Darren Fleet into your search engine, up should pop me. If you don't look like me, you're on the wrong page.
This is the great Darren Fleet, who
you.
we will get back not only for a show. I want to interview you more.
Please
You're
do.
A great interview. You open right up. You talk about the things people want to hear about. And
I love to talk about me. That's easy.
Well, but you talked about some things that people don't like to talk about all the time.
Too.
How many years now? You're out 4 years working, and so the next 4 years will be even bigger.
Hopefully so. From the look of things, it's been a gradually come up. I've never stepped down. My whole comedy career has been a come up. So I thank God for this milestone, and whatever I do next will just be, solidify
It'll be
my
big.
spot.
It'll be big. This is the great Darren Fleet. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Please do.
And we will get him back here. Thank you so much. I'm Vinnie Brand. This is the Stress Factory.
Thank y'all so much, Stress Factory, for having me. God bless y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, what a great interview you are.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Did I do?
Great interviewer.